Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Perseverance Marimeni, also known as Madam Speaker. If you are joining in for the first time, welcome. Where have you been? If you return, I really love you and I appreciate you being here. So, moving right along, today we are going to be talking about dating yourself. Would you date yourself, Perseverance Marimeni? Would you marry yourself, Perseverance Marimeni? My answer is absolutely not. Given a chance, I would never marry myself. I would never marry myself. I could date myself, but I would never marry myself. And I'm going to tell you why right now. Okay, let me take it all the way back, right, to the reason why I'm saying that I would never marry myself, because that is the truth. At this point in time, I would not marry myself, but I feel like years from now, maybe I might marry myself. Yeah, I'm getting to that. Be patient, okay? I want to tell you the reason why, if I was to be given a chance to marry myself, I would never marry myself. I'm still learning myself. I'm still studying myself. I feel like I'm going to take it from right now and take it all the way back. Like, I'm going to start from where I am right now to the reason why I am not wife material, even to myself right now, taking it all the way back. Because I always say that I want to get married someday, I want to get married someday, I want to get married someday. Né? But if I were to be proposed to right now, the answer would be no. If I was to be proposed to by myself, the answer would be no, okay? Because on the 5th of November 2021, the old Perseverance died, okay? That till death do us part, which is said when we get married. Actually, for me, I felt like I lived through that. I feel like on my divorce day, the day that I went to court and I stood and I say, I am asking for this divorce decree. And when they say divorce decree granted, I felt like that 32-year-old Perseverance died that day. And everything in between, everything. A lot of things died on that day. One of the things which died on the 5th of November 2021 is the old Perseverance. The Perseverance who had no idea what she was doing in this life up until now. And when I say she had no idea what she was doing up until now, I'm still going to get to that. I want you to stick with me, okay? I want you to stick with me. Stick with me. I realized that if I were to get married immediately, right now, né, I would still get divorced. Even if I were to do background check and get married to a guy who didn't put me through what my ex put me through, I would still get divorced. When I died in 2021 on the 5th of November, a new Perseverance resurrected. And up until now, it's been a few months, right? I'm still learning this new Perseverance that resurrected on the 5th of November. Because there's a lot of things which I have learned, which I can't unlearn. I feel like my entire life, especially even in marriage, I've been in the dark, right? And then only when I decided that I want to sit down with myself and get to know myself better, that's when I realized how much of a stranger I was to myself. Not because I chose to be a stranger to myself, but simply because I never gave myself a chance to learn and get to know this Perseverance better. That is why I'm saying, till death do us part. My marriage died, and the old Perseverance died, and the woman that guy was married to died on that day. So the new woman that I am today, and I'm not even saying new in a way that, I know your worth. I'm not even about that. I want to get to that. I want you to understand me when I say that death really did take place on the 21st, on the 5th of November 2021, and there was a rebirth that took place. So this rebirth, this new Perseverance that I am today, I'm still learning her. So because I'm still learning her, it would not be fair for me to give her to somebody else while she's still a baby, right? Because this is one thing that the reason why I'm saying that it would not be fair for me to get married to anybody's son at this point in time is simply because I would be a burden to that person. Because if I'm still learning myself, if I'm still learning this perseverance that I never gave her a chance all this time, then what am I doing trying to be somebody else's wife when I don't even understand the type of person that I am? Okay, here's the thing. I feel like everybody needs healing from their inner child. I've said that in the past. I've said that in a video before to say that people think only divorced people need healing. People think people who have been raped need healing. People think those who have been abandoned need healing. But in essence, everybody needs healing from something. Everybody has an inner child that needs healing from something. You understand what I mean? So, it takes a certain level of grace or growth for you to get to a point where you realize that, no, man, it's time for me to now open this can of worms and start getting my healing. Because if the can is still closed and you don't see the need to get healing because you are used to the status quo and you are happy with it, then you're never going to get your healing from whatever that you need healing from. So I feel like, get me right, it's not that divorced people get so bitter to a point where they just say, F everybody must just go jump off a cliff, everybody must just, it's all about me now. For some people, it takes an accident for you to sit down with yourself and you realize that I need to now get my life together. I need to now understand my purpose. I need to understand why God placed me on this earth. So for some people, it takes childbirth for them to understand that this world, God has placed me for a purpose. I am where I am today because there's a mandate that I need to fulfill. For some people, it takes death of a loved one for them to understand that, listen, it could have been me in that coffin. So I need to get my life together. I need to start being serious about life. I need to now understand what I'm doing about my life. And for some people, it takes divorce for them to understand that, listen, I need to understand what I've been doing all this time, what I'm supposed to be doing, what is my calling, what has God placed me on this earth for up until now. And for me personally, it took that. Because I have suffered a loss of a mother. My mother died. But that for me was never a wake-up call to say, okay, get your life together. Okay, it was, to a certain degree, it was, because when I studied hard knowing very well that because I don't have a mom, if I don't study hard and work for myself and be independent, I'm going to suffer in life. So it had its own inspiration. I lost a child. When I lost my child, it hurt. It was painful, you know. And when I had my other kids, I nurtured them and I just love my kids and I made sure that I will protect my kids with everything that is in me. But I still feel like I was not there yet. It didn't say anything about me. It didn't say anything about me getting to know myself as an individual and me getting to love myself and understand what I'm doing, what I'm here for. All right. It took divorce for me to go back and revisit my inner child. For me to go back and visit the things which I've been harboring as a child. It took divorce for me to now open a can of worms, or for me to open up a wound that needs healing from the inside out. For me personally, it took divorce to now want to go back and deal with a pain which is 33 years old. So it's not everybody who's going to only want to now deal with their issues which they're harboring because they're divorced. It's not everybody that's going to decide that they want to deal with their issues because they lost their mother. From person to person, there must be something at some point in your life. There will be something that you will go through that will make you sit yourself down and you say, listen, it's time to do some self-introspection. It's time for me to understand what have I been doing all this time up until now. What am I saying about myself? It will take something for you to say, now I'm drawing boundaries now. Now people are not going to take advantage of me anymore. It will take something to happen to you for you to say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to be taken advantage of anymore. I'm not going to be a people pleaser anymore. It's going to take something that's going to happen to you that will make you decide that enough is enough. Now I need to focus on me. Now I need to learn and understand myself and understand the pains that I went through and get my healing from that. So for me personally, it took divorce for me to get to a point where I sit myself down. And trust me, this is the reason why I'm saying that if I were to get married again, even tomorrow, I would divorce. Because I feel like, okay, I'm loving this woman that I'm learning, that I'm studying, that I'm getting to know every single day, you know? But at the same time, I don't know her. And I'm only paying attention to her now. And I'm realizing that this woman has been screaming for the past 33 years and I never listened to her. It had to take something so threatening for me to actually sit down and say, now I want to listen to this woman called Perseverance. Perseverance, what are you saying? Perseverance, what do you want? What is it that you're not happy with? What is it that you are happy with? What is it that you are aspiring to become? It had to take divorce for me to realize that I need to sit myself down and get to know myself better before I can avail myself for somebody else in a form of being a wife. It takes different things. It takes different things for different people for them to get to a point where they say, I'm interested in knowing myself. When we start dating, right? When you start dating somebody else, you lose interest in yourself and you are more interested in the person that you are dating. To say right now, what do you like? What are you all about? What are your hobbies? What is this? What is that? You focus on the other person. But when the same questions are being posed back at you, there are so many things that you would never even be able to answer simply because you take so much time learning other people and you never learn about yourself. You never get to know yourself better. Let me tell you something. If there's one thing that I used to be good at, that I used to even take pride in, I used to call myself a giver. I used to say giving is my ministry. I thrive in giving. When I see somebody who's in need and I give a helping hand, that to me is satisfactory. It took divorce for me to realize that no, that me giving is me crying out. That me giving is me saying I needed somebody to give me at some point in my life and nobody was there to give me, and that hurt me. So because I never healed from that, I would rather give so that I can fill that void of me needing and not getting help. So everything that you do is always about you, right? But because you think it's about other people and other things, you never get to pay attention to yourself. You never give yourself a chance to say, I want to get to know myself better. I want to get to understand, why do I allow people to push me over? You ask yourself, why is it that, Mina, I'm so forgiving? People do me wrong, I forgive them, but in my heart, it's still painful. In my heart, I'm still crying for what they did to me, but I forgave them because that's what good people do. Good people forgive. But then what is it in you which says that, listen, I'm forgiving people when I don't feel like forgiving people? What is pushing me to forgive when I don't want to forgive? Something is about you. It's crying inside of you and it's saying, listen, pay attention to me. And a lot of us, especially when we now get married and we get into serious relationships, we put our own selves aside. We're not as a project, we're not as an ongoing project. You put yourself aside and you focus on this person that you are now joining together with. And you focus on this person to say, I want to build with this person and I want to make sure that whatever that is not right, I'm going to be there for them. I'm going to support them. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to make sure that this person is like, you know, we are Bonnie and Clyde together. You understand what I mean? So, for that reason, for the fact that it took me 33 years to unlock certain levels of pain, of hurt, of, you know, misery that I need to heal from, that I need to overcome, that I need to face head on. For that reason, I could not marry myself right now. I could not avail myself to be anybody's wife right now. And I feel like I need so much time to get to know myself better so that even when I am ready to get married, I'm not worried about the other person. As long as I know where I stand, I know the type of person that I am and I understand myself. A lot of us don't get married because we understand ourselves. We never take a time to learn about ourselves, what we like, what is it that, draw boundaries. We never do that. We are quick to say yes to anybody who's willing to marry us because men apparently are scarce. You understand what I mean? So when I say that personally, I would not marry myself at this point in time is simply because of that reason. It's simply because I know that when I say I died on the 5th of November 2021, the new me that resurrected on that day, I still need to learn the boundaries which I've drawn, which are painful for other people to abide by, because I have drawn boundaries. And it's painful because some people want to cross those boundaries. And it's painful even for me to watch other people wanting to cross, and I can't let them cross, but they're close to my heart. I love them, but I've drawn boundaries and I've said, anybody who does this, anybody who crosses this line, I'm cutting them out. So I'm still navigating around that. Understanding that I'm complete as a human being. I'm not one half who needs another half. I'm still learning self-love to really, really understand what I mean when I say self-love. I'm still learning to say that when I say I love myself, I'm not saying I love myself so that when you look at me, you see somebody who loves themselves. I should be able to love myself even in your absence, even without anybody watching. I should be able to love myself. I'm still learning to say people's expectations, I should not pressurize myself to live up to people's expectations. I'm still learning to say that I failed in my marriage. And when I failed in my marriage, I'm not a bad person. And even if I failed and I'm not a bad person, I don't have to prove to anybody out there that because I'm saying I'm not a bad person, I'm going to get married to the next guy just to prove that actually the problem was not with me. And not only is it people that I have to prove to, that I do not have to prove to that I'm a good person and I'm worthy of being married, of having a stable relationship. I still have to prove to myself that there's nothing wrong with being alone. There's nothing wrong with being by myself. It's okay. Because in as much as I can say openly to you guys, listen guys, I don't care. I'm okay with being by myself. I love myself. And everybody coming out here saying, yo, Madam Speaker, you inspire me. Your stories keep me going. But at the end of the day, am I really truthful to myself? When I say, I don't care what people say, am I saying it to you, or does it really say something to me even in my secret place? When I say I know that I can make a damn good wife, am I saying that because I want to prove to myself that I'm not a failure, or I'm saying that because I want to prove to my ex or his family or anybody else out there who's laughing at me that I failed at my marriage? Am I doing that because I want to prove to them that actually no, I can make it work? Is it really worth me doing? Or should I only get married when I feel like, you know what, I'm ready, I'm okay, and this person I really feel like I can do forever with for real? Without having any expectations from other people, without having to promise people heaven and earth when I know that I can't deliver. So with that being said, that is the reason why I'm saying, Mina, I would not marry myself. At this point in time, I would not marry myself. But at the same time, let me tell you something, guys. At the same time, with me saying that I can't marry myself, I'm very stingy and greedy with myself. Because I've had a lot of interactions with guys, after all these videos that I post and they've blown up. I've had a lot of interaction with guys who want to have me, not because they see me good enough to have, but they want to have me because if I'm this apparent strong woman that every second woman looks up to, that means that it's not every guy who would be up to get this woman. So meaning that if I get this woman, that means that I'm the ish. When I get this woman, it shows that I'm the real Makoya, because out of all these men, you see this woman, this hard-headed woman, this woman who's not scared of anyone, this woman who is just outspoken and straightforward, this woman who has an army of women following her, I have her. Do you understand what I mean? So I become so stingy with myself. I become so selfish with myself to say that the people that I'm allowing into my life, are they there to prove a point, or I can have Madam Speaker, the so-called the people's president. I can have her, meaning that everybody else who's inspired by her should be inspired by me because I'm the head of her house. So in as much as I'm saying I'm not good enough, or I'm not ready, or I'm not fit, it would be unfair for me to want to be anybody's wife right now. I still feel like it would be unfair for me to want to be somebody else's wife right now, because are they here for me as perseverance? Are they here for me to see the holy of holies of my heart? Or are they here for me as Madam Speaker, as a woman who has an army of other women behind her, to prove to other women that I'm the one who got this one who is your president. You get what I mean? So I don't know if that person who asked the question, would I get married to myself, is here, but that is why I could not get married to myself. Maybe a few years down the line, I might get married, meaning that I could be good enough. I could qualify myself to be married to myself, because I really believe that I'm a home builder. I get that a lot. I love families. I'm a family-oriented person. I love kids. But at this point in time, I could not marry myself. I could never do that to anybody's son.